snacks. Ready? Go on. Oh.
Yes, no.
Today we're making a little game for kids. This is a super easy project that anyone can do in a weekend. I actually knocked it out in 2 hours, which is the fastest project I've ever done. And it's actually quite fun. Plus, you know, you get to play with the kids at the end of the day. Oh, so close. Stay tuned, see how to do this. I'm gonna go play it with my kids now. Okay, so for this project, it's gonna be super simple. Knock on wood, there's plenty of that here. I'm gonna use this simple glued up old piece of pine. I'm just gonna square it up and get rid of the round edges. This is just some leftover. I didn't have any hardwood or anything nicer looking, but you know, I think pine is underrated. It doesn't look too bad, plus the knots give it some character. So I'll use that as the main sort of goal. I'll build the ramp out of this and use the rest of it for creating the obstacles. So in theory, TM, this should be a very straightforward project and give myself and the boys something to play this afternoon. So let me get cracking and let's go from there. Okay, so all the cutting so far is done. So the idea is that these pieces are going to be used like, you know, like dice. You just chuck them, obviously a bit more violently than that, because my boys will love that, as obstacles, or maybe just a subset, I don't know. So that you have to aim to get through them, potentially use some as ramps, I don't know. It's just something a bit different I wanted to add. I also have cut 2 of them that will be used as stands, so that this will actually stand. I just hope that they are big enough, but I think that'll be fine, so they will stand at the back there. So that's all ready to go. And then this will be used for the ramp. Now, I think I'll do the ramp first. What I need to do is, like, in the center of this, I need to chamfer a groove where the marble can run down, and I'll do that on my router table. As always on the router, I'm going to use a test piece first. Look at that, lovely chamfer. And don't ask me why, but I have loads of marbles just here. So I'm just going to use these white ones. I mean, it runs in there, it's not bottoming out. It means I could actually make it shallower. So this is quite deep, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a second one right next to it. And that works just as well. So the marble doesn't actually sit in it, but that's good. If I had a bigger bit, I would take a bigger bit, but I don't think I have. And now for my obviously favorite bit, bandsaw. So let's see how this goes. I viced this in and I have to plane it flat. Obviously it needs to be flat. Now I'm going to try and use my block plane because I don't really have a big hand plane yet. I've got 2 that need restoring, so I can't really use them. I'm going to see if it works. If it doesn't work, I might just use the planer, or, I mean, they're pretty flat. Maybe just sanded flat. There we go, look at that. This is the last piece. Oh, sorry. Very chuffed with that. I never thought, I'll be honest, I didn't think that would work this well. Firelight for later. So now what that means is that that piece is perfectly flat. Yeah. Okay, with the ramp done, it's time to make the target. So it'll stand this side down. So in here, I'm going to drill different sized holes for these marbles. So the idea is you roll the marble and you try and get them in. Sadly, this isn't going as fast as I'd like, but you know, it's for young kids. It's supposed to be a challenge. I don't know if my ramps will actually work. Hey, it could. Okay, so for this, I've just chosen some random Forstner bits, different sizes, so like from 18 up to like 32. And I've just gone and marked next to each one approximately where I want that. This doesn't have to be an exact science. And then the idea is that you have to score, and they give you different point values, which I'll work out later or with the boys and progress the rules as we go. So I've marked them all. I'll drill the holes where marked, and then not all the way, and then I have to learn to saw straight. That's the whole point of this project, is to teach me to saw perfectly straight. So let me get the holes drilled, because that'll take a while, because I have to swap bits all the time, and then we'll get back to the table. So, and as an expert YouTuber, I forgot to hit record. Anyway, drill the holes, nothing more. Gonna mark, cut, done. This was quite an interesting exercise. I initially used the European style saw, which worked fairly well. However, I found the Japanese style worked much quicker, and I could achieve much straighter lines as it just glided down nicer. Lastly, two things quickly. I'm gonna glue on my two supports on the back of this, and then give it a quick sand with just some 120 and apply my favorite finish, which is just this wax. And then we're ready to go. So it has been a fairly simple project. I'm quite happy. This must be one of the fastest projects I've made to date. So yeah, waxing it all fairly liberally, even if there's a little bit of wax left over, and we'll work on that later when we buff it out. Make sure you work in the wax and oil mixture everywhere if you're using this mixture, and particularly on the ingrain, right? Ingrain soaks it up, so make sure you get enough. And you should be able to see on most woods. I think pine will be difficult because the coloration doesn't change much, it just looks a bit wet, so look out for that. But like on this walnut, it gets quite a bit darker, particularly the ingrain. It goes much, much darker than the rest, so you'll be able to see fairly quickly if you've missed a spot. Anyway, the idea is you take a couple of the blocking things, chuck them down, and then try, we'll draw a line or something, try and get the marble into one of the holes. Let me just this slightly. Here we go. Let's watch. Yes! And there we have it. I'm gonna go take this and play with my kids now. Please, like always, like and subscribe. Really helps. Catch you later.